Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the place you come to really get into those big stories, the ones everyone's talking about. We untangle it all for you.
Yeah, we give you the shortcut to actually understanding what's going on.
You know those pop culture moments that just explode? They're not just on your feed, they're like the conversation at work with friends.
Totally. And you're left wondering, wait, did that really happen? They go way beyond just being a story. They become these huge cultural things.
And today, oh boy, are we diving deep into one of the biggest, truly one of the most shocking, most talked about scandals probably ever in reality TV. Scandoval.
Yep. Unless you've genuinely been off-grid, we're talking about the whole Tom Sandoval, Ariana Madix, and Raquel Leviss situation from Vanderpump Rules.
Our mission today is to really wade through all the noise, all the sources, and give you a clear picture, like a timeline of the affair, the massive impact it had, not just on the cast, but on, everyone watching.
And its legacy, because this thing really went beyond just a show storyline.
Right. So for this deep dive, we've pulled together quite a bit. We got direct interviews with the cast, their own reflections. There's this amazing, super detailed Reddit timeline that fans put together.
Oh, yeah. The fan timelines are incredible. Plus, analysis from places like E.T., Jezebel, The Independent, and, of course, those Watch What Happens Live clips, celebrity reactions, all of it.
It really paints a picture from, every single angle. Fan theories, official statements, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. So expect us to untangle that timeline, dig into some pretty shocking behind-the-scenes stuff, look at how different cast members saw it.
And really try to figure out why. Why did this scandal hit such a nerve with so many people? We're going past the headlines.
Yeah, getting into the why behind the what. Relationships, loyalty, reality TV itself. Let's maybe start by just setting the scene. Where was Vanderpump Rules before all this blew up?
Okay, yeah, good place to start. To really get how huge Scandoval was, you need the backstory.
Yeah.
So Vanderpump Rules, it started back in 2013. It was a spin-off from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Right, centered on Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant staff in West Hollywood. SUR, mostly. Young people trying to make it in L.A., working, partying.
And constantly hooking up or breaking up. It was built on those messy, intertwined lives.
Absolutely. You had the core group. Tom Sandoval, Ariana Madix, Tom Shorts, Katie Maloney, Shiana Shea, Lala Kent, James Kennedy, and then Raquel Leviss, or Rachel, joined later.
The whole show revolved around these really long-term friendships and relationships, often pretty volatile, sure, but they seemed, kind of unbreakable in a weird way.
That's key. The drama felt real because it came from within that group, that history. It wasn't random conflict. It felt like watching a family kind of implode sometimes, which made the betrayals hit harder.
Definitely. And Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix, they were like a central pillar of that group for a long time.
Yeah, they officially got together, or confirmed it, back in February 2014, Season 2 reunion.
And this is classic VPR, right? Their start was messy, too.
Yeah.
Sandoval apparently hooked up with Ariana while he was still dating Kristen Dout.
Who, wait for it, was secretly hooking up with Jax Taylor at the time.
Exactly. So, that kind of set the stage for the show, didn't it? Complex relationships, overlapping drama. It was baked in from the beginning.
It really was. And that's crucial context because despite that messy start, and even though the show always had cheating scandals, Tom and Ariana's relationship, it was almost always shown as the rock-solid one.
Totally. They were the stable ones, the mature couple, supposedly.
Yeah, right. That perception stability was huge. And that's why I think when the affair came out, it felt so much more shocking to people. It wasn't just another VPR mess-up. It felt like a foundation crumbled.
And they talked about the future, too, like real-life stuff.
Yeah.
Ariana mentioned in October 2021 that she wasn't big on the whole wedding fanfare, wanted something more low-key, just about them.
And then she froze her eggs. That was November 2021. She talked about wanting, agency over my own body and my own future. Called it a FU to people questioning her choices.
Yeah, she was planning, thinking ahead.
Okay, but here's where it gets really, really uncomfortable and, frankly, deeply deceptive. Mid-September 2022, right in the middle of when this affair was happening.
Yeah.
Sandoval goes with Ariana to a fertility clinic with the specific goal of fertilizing her eggs.
Wait, while he's with Raquel?
Yes, actively having the affair and actively taking steps towards creating embryos with Ariana. The level of hypocrisy there is just
Mind-boggling. It's not just cheating. It's like performing commitment on this incredibly deep level while simultaneously betraying it.
Exactly. It suggests this calculated effort to maintain the illusion, maybe even to himself, while undermining the whole thing. It's beyond hypocrisy. It's, yeah, deeply disturbing.
Okay, wow. So let's bring Raquel into this timeline more clearly. Her journey is important, too. She really became part of the core group when she got engaged to James Kennedy. Remember Rachella?
May 2021, the Coachella-themed proposal, big moment. Cemented her place.
But then, just 6 months later, December 2021, they split up. Said they had two different goals.
And that breakup, while it seemed amicable on the surface, started showing some early weirdness. Red flags, maybe. Like at the season 9 reunion, Sandoval's reaction to their breakup. It was described as bizarre, kind of nervous.
Interesting. Why would he be so invested?
Exactly. It stood out. Just seemed like an unusually intense reaction for his girlfriend's friend's breakup. A tiny hint, maybe, that something was off even then.
And then things get murkier. April 2022. Raquel supposedly goes on a date with Nima from Shahs of Sunset.
Okay, indeed.
Nima later claimed Raquel told him that Tom and Ariana were in an open relationship.
Whoa, okay, that's huge. Did she really say that?
According to Nima, yes.
Yeah.
And she also apparently said Sandoval had hit on her in a hot tub until 5 a.m., but she turned him down. This is months before Scandoval broke.
So if that's true, Raquel was already putting out this narrative about an open relationship. That changes things. It suggests she wasn't just passively involved later, but maybe actively shaping a story early on.
Right. And planting seeds about Sandoval's interest. Then, also in April 2022, Raquel's building a friendship with Katie Maloney. She's even on Katie's podcast.
Okay, so she's getting closer to the inner circle, building these bonds she would later betray.
Precisely. Then fast forward to July 2022. Raquel tells Katie she wants to make out with Schwartz. Tom Schwartz, Katie's ex-husband at this point.
Oh, right. The Schwartz kiss drama.
But she apparently framed it as not something serious, almost implying it was just for a storyline.
That comment really landed badly later, didn't it? People saw it as manipulative, like she was willing to mess with Katie's feelings just for screen time or to create a diversion. Was she already thinking about covering something up?
It definitely makes you wonder. And the weird vibes continued. October 2022, BravoCon. Andy Cohen himself said later he felt weirded out by Raquel at Tom Sandoval's band's concert. Didn't know why then, but it stuck with him.
Gut feelings. Sometimes they're telling you something.
And then a more concrete clue. November 2022. Shanna notices Raquel stopped sharing her location with her. Right after Raquel had been going to Sandoval's band shows, sometimes when Ariana wasn't there.
So, a deliberate move towards secrecy, pulling back from friends who might notice something. These little things, they really start to add up in hindsight, don't they?
Absolutely. It paints a picture of something hidden, growing. Which brings us to the actual affair timeline.
Right, the secret timeline. Let's map that out. Sources later put the start around June 2022, lasting upwards of 6 months before it broke.
6 months. That's a long time to maintain that level of deception within such a close group.
It is. And the timeline shows this pattern of increasing boldness. Like August 2022, Raquel makes out with Oliver Saunders in Vegas, Garcelle Beauvais' son.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
His estranged wife later confirmed they were still married then. So even before the Sandoval stuff fully ignited, there's this instance with another, unavailable man. A bit of a pattern maybe emerging there.
Interesting point. Then, around August 8th, 2022, Sandoval himself later admitted Raquel made the first move. This was after a guys' night event.
Allie, James's new girlfriend, saw them together after that event, too. She mentioned it on the show.
And remember that scene where Raquel brings Sandoval flowers after guys' night? Producers later showed footage proving they'd actually met up 10 hours before that flower delivery.
Right, so it wasn't the spontaneous thinking of you thing. It was like a cover story almost. Staged for the cameras, possibly, to hide an earlier interaction. Very calculated.
And Schwartz. He admitted later he found out about a one-night stand around August. So it seems like that initial hookup happened early August.
Ariana's version fits, too. She said Raquel and Tom hooked up in the car that night while she was home. Tom had to ring the doorbell to get back in.
Ugh, literally right outside her door. The audacity is just...
It's chilling. And Raquel's explanation later was that Sandoval made her feel heard after she crashed that guy's night. Described having feelings she'd maybe never felt before.
Framing it as this profound emotional connection.
Which, it could be partly true for her, but it also works really well as a justification, doesn't it? And Sandoval could definitely play into that, being the one who understands her, deepening the bond, making the secrecy feel, more like us against the world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so from that initial hookup, things really escalated between August and December 2022.
Oh, big time. Shiana's wedding in Mexico, end of August 2022.
The Cancun wedding, yeah.
They admitted at the reunion, hooked up repeatedly under Ariana's nose. This was their second hookup location, apparently, and where the affair really picked up.
At a friend's wedding with his girlfriend there. It's just...
Yeah, disrespect, it's off the charts. Then, not long after, Labor Day weekend, September 5th, Ariana's out of town. Her grandmother had just passed away.
Oh, God, yeah. That timing.
Raquel spends the night at Sandoval's house, admits later they hooked up. Ken Todd even saw her there, mentioned Sandoval having her over in the jacuzzi while Ariana was grieving.
That's beyond awful. It's violating her home, her grief. It feels like a whole new level of betrayal.
It really does. Then, Raquel's birthday, September 12th, she buys herself that lightning bolt necklace.
Sandoval symbol.
Yeah.
Their couple symbol with Ariana. Yeah, fans clocked that immediately.
Clocked it as totally mocking Ariana, like you said, a trophy. It feels so intentionally cruel, wearing that symbol of their affair, basically. Reddit users called it sick.
It really was. And back to the fertility clinic visit. That was mid-September. Then September 20th, the Life is Beautiful festival. Sandoval later tried to claim this was when the affair officially began.
Right, trying to minimize the earlier stuff. But the timeline clearly shows it started before then.
And the Halloween costume. Tom Sandoval dressed up as Raquel for Halloween while he's still with Ariana.
That one is just, it's peak gaslighting, peak mockery, as one Redditor put it, making the relationship a huge joke to them. It's like he needed to act it out in public, hiding in plain sight. So twisted.
Totally. And by Christmas 2022, they're traveling to St. Louis together for Raquel to meet his family.
So yeah, this isn't just sneaking around anymore. This is integrating her into his life, his family life, while still dating Ariana. It's undeniably a full-blown relationship at this point, just hidden.
Which leads to the question, who else knew? The inner circle's knowledge.
Right, Schwartz. He admitted Sandoval told him in January 2023, said Sandoval claimed he was in love with Raquel.
And Schwartz said he was unsurprised, called it an open secret.
Yeah, within certain circle, apparently, which is telling. How many people suspected or knew something?
But Schwartz didn't just know. He admitted helping cover it up, creating that smokescreen by pretending he wanted to kiss Raquel.
Right, which totally manipulated Katie in the process. He said he hated the secrecy, but did it for Sandoval, later felt exploited.
That's a tough spot, but actively helping deceive people. That's complicity, right?
Absolutely. It raises that question. Where's the line between loyalty and enabling? Like that ski trip they took in January 2023, the Toms and Joe and Raquel. Schwartz said Raquel hid in Sandoval's room, drove up separately. Active concealment.
Even Lala had suspicions earlier. She said someone told her off camera they saw Sandoval and Raquel under covers together at a party.
But she dismissed it.
Yeah, brushed it off as them just being best friends. She told Shiana, but when they asked, everyone, Tom, Raquel, even Ariana, denied it.
Wow. So they were really effective at shutting down any suspicion that surfaced, using the trust within the group against itself.
Exactly. Which brings us to the moment it all finally came crashing down.
The discovery, March 1st, 2023.
Sandoval's band is playing. Ariana finds something on his phone. Descriptions vary slightly. A racy pic, a sexually explicit video, maybe a screen recording of a FaceTime between Tom and Raquel.
Whatever it was incriminating. Undeniable proof. The bomb, as people called it.
And Ariana's reaction was immediate. Confronted him right there. Ended the relationship. Almost 10 years, over, just like that. Then she called Raquel.
Wow. No hesitation. Just done. That digital evidence, huh? No hiding from that.
Nope. And the news broke publicly just 2 days later, March 3rd. GMZ had the story, Scandoval exploded.
Instantly. Became this huge pop culture moment overnight.
And Bravo. They jumped right on it. Cameras were rolling almost immediately to capture the fallout for season 10. Ariana apparently called production right after she found out.
Smart move by her, honestly. Ensuring her side, her raw reaction was documented. The cast reaction was interesting too, shock, but also validation for some.
Right. Many had suspicions like we talked about. This just confirmed them. The general vibe was like Tom's having a midlife crisis.
A way to try and make sense of it, maybe, but it instantly split the group. Almost everyone sided against Tom and Raquel. The women rallied around Ariana.
Clear lines drawn in the sand. Immediately.
Which just shows how deep those bonds were and how profound the sense of betrayal felt group-wide.
Okay, so the immediate aftermath. March 2023. Things got wild, fast. Statements, reactions, legal threats.
Let's start with Sandoval's first apology. Instagram, March 5th. Very telling.
Because,
He apologized to Schwartz, his businesses, friends, family, but not Ariana.
wow, okay. Focused on damage control for his brand, not the person he hurt most.
Exactly, and people noticed. The backlash was immediate. Lala Kent just went off, called him weak, said she never liked either of them as mask fell, declared, "No one is Team Sandoval, maybe Schwartz."
She really voiced the collective rage, didn't she?
She did, and James Kennedy, Raquel's ex, he felt totally vindicated, said she used him to get famous, glad the world could see she wasn't innocent.
So Sandoval eventually apologized to Ariana.
Yeah, March 8th, second post. Apologized to everyone I've hurt, specifically Ariana. Acknowledged selfish, reckless decisions.
And Raquel.
Same day, March 8th. Statement to ET, apologized to Ariana, friends, fans, talked about patterns of codependency, needing counseling, but also mentioned getting death threats, being assaulted, privacy violated.
Right, the public reaction was intense, vicious even.
Definitely a dark side to it. And Lisa Vanderpump, she was on Watch What Happens Live, just gobsmacked, flabbergasted, said nobody saw it coming. Which again speaks to how well they hid it.
But it didn't stop at apologies. Legal stuff started happening. Raquel sent letters to castmates about that video Ariana found.
The personal video, yeah. Basically warning them not to share it. She later sued Sandoval and Ariana for revenge porn, eavesdropping, invasion of privacy.
So it went from messy breakup to actual lawsuits.
Very quickly. And then there was the whole Shiana situation. After a WWHL taping where Raquel apparently confessed the affair timeline to Shiana.
Things got physical.
Yeah.
Or allegedly physical.
Right. Shiana reportedly got physical. Raquel filed for a temporary restraining order, a TRO, against Shiana. Claimed Shiana pushed her into a wall, punched her, gave her a black eye, cut eyebrow.
Whoa. But Shiana denied it.
Vehemently. Her lawyer said she never punched Rachel, period, suggested the marks were old. The TRO eventually got dismissed because Raquel didn't show up for the court date. So, conflicting stories, lots of legal drama.
Just chaos.
Yeah.
And Sandoval was adding to it, telling production he wouldn't film unless they reshot a scene he didn't like.
Yep. Wanted a real break from filming with Raquel. Even then, his focus was on his edit, how he looked, that performative nature again.
Meanwhile, Ariana, she handled it with such strength, publicly anyway.
Her resilience was incredible. She came back to Instagram March 16th, posted that photo from Mexico where she met her new guy, Daniel Y., thanked everyone for the support, and that line, "What doesn't kill me better run."
Iconic. Became like her motto.
Totally. And then the reunion revenge dress, that red cutout gown, powerful statement, pure strength.
And her famous dismissal of Raquel. I don't know who you're talking about. Just ice cold. Erasing her.
And she turned it all into opportunity, hosted Love Island USA, did amazing on Dancing with the Stars, got a Lifetime movie role.
Buying back my daughter, yeah. It was an amazing comeback. She really channeled that public support.
She really did. It turned immense pain into serious career momentum, which leads us to the reunion itself.
The Season 10 reunion, taped March 23rd, 2023. Andy Cohen called it a real reckoning.
High stakes. They did one-on-one interviews with Ariana, Sandoval, and Raquel. And because of that TRO, Raquel and Shiana had to stay 100 yards apart. Strict rules.
The tension must have been insane. And the revelations were huge.
Absolutely game-changing. First off, the throuple bombshell. Raquel apparently propositioned Sandoval about becoming a throuple with Ariana.
Wait, what? She wanted all three of them together.
That's what came out. Just adds another layer of bizarre manipulation to the whole thing. And then the timeline truth bombs.
Right. It wasn't just the Mexico kiss. They admitted sleeping together during Shiana's wedding. Multiple times.
And even worse, while Ariana was away for her grandmother's funeral, that came out too. Just brutal.
And Raquel admitted meeting Sandoval's mom. Who knew about the situation?
Yep. Showed how deep it went, how long it had been serious, involving family, long before anyone else knew. The premeditation, staggering.
So how much complicity was there, even passively, from people around them, like his mom, knowing? Did that enable it?
That's a really tough question, isn't it? It definitely highlights how secrets like this can sometimes fester when people around choose not to see or intervene. The confrontations at the reunion, though, they were intense.
Ariana was just unleashed, called Raquel selfish, diabolical, demented, disgusting, wished the worst fickiness on her.
Raw, justified anger. And when asked about forgiveness, a hard, that's not happening. No ambiguity there.
And Sandoval. He just dug himself deeper. When Ariana mentioned sleeping with him after the affair started.
His response, she kept her t-shirt on, it was really hot, just Unbelievably cruel and demeaning. The whole cast turned on him at that moment. Any tiny shred of sympathy he might have had, gone.
Shiana said Ariana assassinated her every time with her words, and Ariana called out Sandoval's little flying monkeys like Schwartz for helping spin the narrative.
Kristen Doubt backed that up, showing texts where Sandoval was blaming Ariana, gaslighting her right after the discovery. Classic deflection.
And Schwartz asking people to hug Tom because he's down bad. Terrible timing.
Awful read of the room. Infuriated Katie and Lala. Showed he still didn't grasp the severity. Raquel tried to explain herself, saying she was so curious about being physical with someone she loved, didn't have the willpower to stop seeing him.
Sounds like minimizing her own agency, maybe? Or just a convenient excuse.
Could be both. Definitely self-serving. After all that, Ariana and Sandoval were still living together for a while.
Yeah, but communicating only through his assistant. Strict, no-contact policy from her side. Her plan was sell the house, get her money, move on.
Setting boundaries in an impossible situation. And Schwartz eventually distanced himself too, right? Said he felt exploited, resentful, hadn't talked to Sandoval in ages after the reunion.
Yeah, even that seemingly unbreakable Tom's bond finally cracked under the pressure, showed the damage spread everywhere.
Which brings us to season 11 and how everything shifted.
Big time. Production seemed to make a miscalculation. This huge new audience came in, binging the show just for Scandoval, wanting to see Ariana get revenge.
And this new audience, they had zero loyalty to the OG cast. They wanted justice for Ariana, full stop.
So when Bravo and Lisa Vanderpump tried to push a Sandoval redemption arc,
Yeah.
it backfired massively.
Oh, completely. It felt totally ham-fisted, inauthentic, especially after his wild comparisons of Scandoval to George Floyd and O.J. Simpson. He just kept making it worse.
Viewers were not having it. They wanted the women supporting Ariana, not seeing her portrayed as lazy or unreasonable, which some felt happened.
Right. And Lala and Shiana trying to push Sandoval's redemption or criticizing Ariana. That got major backlash, too. Felt like betraying the audience's investment in Ariana's story.
There was also that feeling Sandoval and Raquel had played in the audience's faces with the fake Schwartz romance plotline. The hypocrisy was just too much.
Plus, Sandoval's inauthenticity, as castmates called it, was just glaring. People saw through the performance. James pointed out his habit of saying something, leaving, coming back, always calculating.
So the dynamics in season 11 were super fractured. Ariana refused to film one-on-one with Tom, set firm boundaries, said it would disrupt her peace.
Understandable, but it definitely changed the show's structure. And it put pressure on others. Lala got criticized for weaponized motherhood, trying to tear down Ariana to elevate herself.
Yeah, her expecting Ariana to step up for her paycheck while she couldn't share her own life fully, people called that hypocritical.
And Shiana, seen as blowing with the wind, prioritizing the job over friendship, supporting Lala's attacks, suggesting Sandoval was a better friend.
And viewers definitely sensed jealousy towards Ariana's success, like Dancing with the Stars. It felt like a shift from real relationships to jockeying for position.
Which, Katie and Schwartz, reflecting on their old Rage Text days, kind of highlighted the difference. That was real messy history compared to some of the season 11 stuff that felt more superficial, more about camera time.
And the Tom's business, Schwartz and Sandy's, it actually closed late 2024. Couldn't survive the bad press.
Wow, real-world consequences. Schwartz felt Sandoval just left him to clean up the mess. The ripple effects kept spreading.
So the cast relationships were so bad they paused filming. No shooting in summer 2024.
And then the big news, November 2024. Bravo announced season 12 would be a reboot.
Yeah.
Entirely new cast, except for Lisa Vanderpump.
End of an era. 11 years for most of them.
Huge. The cast reactions were bittersweet. Tributes, gratitude, but also looking forward. Definitive closure, though.
So what about life after BPR for these main players? Ariana's clearly still on the upswing.
Definitely. Hosting Love Island USA, did great on Dancing with the Stars, performing in the Macy's Parade. Career is booming.
And the sandwich shop with Katie, something about her, finally opened.
Yep. Still dating Daniel Way. And legally, she filed that lawsuit in Jan 2024 to force the sale of the house she shared with Sandoval, taking control financially.
Sandoval. He's staying in the reality TV sphere, special forces, masked singer. He's on the traders now.
Yeah, but still facing that judgment, even on new shows. The scandal follows him. His band's touring again. He had that podcast. Everybody loves Tom, though it's on hiatus.
And he has a new girlfriend, model Victoria Lee Robinson. Seems like he's trying to move on. They agreed to sell the house.
He also opened up about having suicidal thoughts after the scandal, which was serious, though his comparison to Chester Bennington drew more controversy. He's still very much under a microscope.
And Rachel Leviss, formerly Raquel.
She took time away, went to a mental health facility, now goes by her birth name, Rachel, trying to reclaim her identity.
She started her own podcast, too, Rachel Goes Rogue, trying to tell her side of the story.
Right. And she filed that lawsuit against Sandoval and Ariana over the video, claiming the scandal made her one of the most hated women in America. She's definitely forging her own path, completely separate from the show now.
So, wrapping this all up, what a ride. From that perceived stability to utter chaos, public fallout, shifting loyalties, and the end of the show as we knew it was everywhere.
It really was. And I think the reason it hit so hard, why it resonated, is because it touched on these really universal things, right? Betrayal, loyalty, how we judge people in public, our desire for justice or redemption.
It definitely made you question authenticity. On TV, in relationships.
And it showed the incredible power of the audience, how viewer reaction can literally shape the story, even push back against what production might want, like with that failed redemption arc for Sandoval.
Yeah, the audience had so much power here. It makes you think.
Right.
We saw people go to crazy lengths for a storyline, maybe, and the audience reacted so strongly. What does Scandoval tell us about that line between reality and performance, especially now when everything's online?
And what's our role as viewers in all of this? Are we just consuming stories, or are we part of the machine? Does demanding authenticity on screen just encourage more manufactured drama behind the scenes? Or does it just, put human flaws under this giant public magnifying glass?
Definitely something to think about. It's way more complicated than just a TV show scandal.